Hey there everyone, welcome in. I'm Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers. Happy Thursday. We'll get started shortly. Welcome in. Look at my crazy work surface. Hey there friends, welcome. I apologize for the delay. Been a crazy one. Linda, Christy, Jeanette, welcome in. Fabulous friends and J Crew. We're going to play around with the Krinkled White Peony Template tonight. How are you? Hey, Vanessa. Welcome. I'm going to close the door. We don't want anybody stealing me during our tutorial. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good week, staying safe, healthy, and having a little fun, right? Hi, Erica. Yes, all is well. It's just crazy busy life. I know, Linda. She says she hasn't seen pastels in a while. I broke them out for my sample flower last night, and then I just changed it a little bit for tonight to my favorite combo. So I have a little bit of paint cans, but I'm going to put gloves on for the majority of it. So our peonies are blooming, and we had some heavy rain over the last 2 days, so the peonies are not holding up great here in Pennsylvania. So I was inspired by some that I saw on my walk, and my niece just actually posted the photo of her peonies. So again, we're going to use the Krinkled White Peony. So we're going to basically use the size of the sepals that we use for our traditional Krinkled White Peony. So we're going to take our traditional template and we're going to make a new flower. So it's going to be a little bit different, but we're starting with the same size of the sepals and the larger petals. But we're only going to be using petals 1, 2, and 6. So we're going to take our traditional flower and switch it up. So 2 sepals at 4.5 inches wide. Now, sometimes my sizes get distorted even though it's locked when I use the Cricut app, so just go by the width. Your petal 1, which is your largest petal, you're going to cut 4 of them at 4.25 inches wide. Petal 2, which is this petal, we're going to cut 4 at 3.5 inches wide. And then petal 6, which is our crazy one, which I love, you're going to cut 6 of them at 3.4 inches wide. Okay? Oh, thank you, Erica. It is such a pretty color. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, we're taking our traditional template and making a new peony with it. So it will still be crinkled and everything. So we have quite a process to go through. So thanks for joining tonight, whether live or in replay here on Facebook, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube. Just remember the Facebook videos are here for 30 days. And once I can get your sizes typed up, I do post the video to YouTube. Hi, Pat. Welcome in. So thanks everyone for joining. Again, we're going to take the traditional crinkled white peony and create a different peony, a little bit different look. You can use any colors. I was just inspired by the colors I saw in our museum gardens for the peonies. And then I'll show you my sample, which is a lot lighter in color as well. So I'm using 65-pound cardstock. And I'm using the white cardstock from PrintWorks. So they do offer them. I do have them linked in my Amazon storefront. They did gift me a bunch of paper to use, and it works really well. I cut mine on light cardstock setting. It colors really well. So thank you, PrintWorks. I'm also using some PanPastels that I have in my stash. These were ordered off of Amazon. These were part of a Leah Griffith set, but we're going to be using the magenta. I'm going to be using my Distress Oxide and Picked Raspberry. We need some finger dabbers. So my finger dabber with the darker is for my PanPastels, and the chewed up one here is my Distress Oxide. I'm also using crushed olive, and this is cardstock, the mint cardstock from PrintWorks as well. That's in a couple different paper packs they offer. And then also on my sepal, we're adding a little bit of walnut stain and a hint of seedless preserves. I'm going to be using my needle nose pliers, an embossing stylus, 2 different sizes of our metal ball stylus. We need a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire, our piercing scoring tool from Dollar Tree, some precision scissors, our 1/8 inch purple dowel rod. I did cut my wire in half, so you do need the wire cutters. My Surebonder mini glue gun and the 8-inch Gorilla Glue sticks. And lastly, I am going to wear some gloves. And then our flower shaping mat, which is your 1/4 inch soft foam mat. Hey, Bally, welcome in. So again, we're going to take our crinkled white peony template and crinkle it a different way. We're crinkling it actually the same way, but we're using different petals and styling it a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to finish my inking, and this is the part that's totally optional. So if you just want to use solid pink paper, any color that you want to match your client order or your preferences, it's totally up to you. So I'm going to put some gloves on. So again, depending what colors you're using or not, you could skip ahead. So I appreciate you hanging out. I hope I can inspire you. We have one more tutorial for this week before the long holiday weekend here in the US for Memorial Day. Maybe some of you are off and lucky to be off tomorrow. So for all of my petals, I'm starting with a nice base of Picked Raspberry. Now this one is pretty old. I do need to add some ink to it. And, oops, I'm going pretty heavily. So my flower I saw was white at just the tips. The other one was, and my sample has some lighter pinks and yellows in it. So again, play around with your colors. You don't have to use what I have. Use what's in your stash. So I'm adding pretty heavy-handed. I'm trying to leave a little bit of the white. And I'm doing that on both sides for every petal. Hi, Arnaz. Welcome in. Hello, friends. Thank you for joining. I'm Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers. Super happy to be here with you. Thank you for accommodating my schedule changes. Okay, so I'm going to do that for the rest of these. So I like to put the base of the picked raspberry. And I'm keeping mostly the tips white. Some of them I go further up on the petal. Completely up to you. Flip it over. Does anybody have off tomorrow for a long holiday weekend? Ooh, excuse me. I had the best coconut cupcake today. Okay, so we're going to just continue that for all of our petals. Brushing from the tips out, and then I come back in and do the base for most of them. Some of them I just left it white. I do love me some pink flowers, as we know. I do pink a lot. So again, depending on your preference, or if you want to go for a more realistic peony, you can use a darker, just pink paper. And I'm doing this to both sides of all petals. So then keep that in mind when you're selling your arrangements, the time it took you to ink. And then assemble, and like to style it. Assembly of this is super fast, but it was all the prep work that takes the longest. Allie, I would not. I would just share hers on her page, please. I try and keep to mine, or at least V's. Thank you for asking that. I did join that too. I didn't get to watch a lot of it. Oh, Sharon, 20. Girl, of the large flowers? That's awesome. Or are you doing the mini? So Sharon's making 20 of my patriotic flowers. That is awesome. I have ours hanging at work. And then the other one went to a doctor's office I sold to one of my friends. So I want to make 2 more flowers for our flower set, and that'll take us through the fall. All right. So I'm doing a base of inking with our picked raspberry. Then I like to come back, and the magenta is a super duper pretty color. So these are PanPastels. We have not had these out in a while, as Linda said. Sometimes if I don't see them in front of me, I don't. I forget they're there. So I'm still using a finger dabber. And this comes on really, I like that it actually brightens it up, makes it a lot darker. And it has a lot more contrast between the 2 petals. So I'm literally just going over it. So it's like chalk. Your chalks that I used to use in art class. Flip it over and I do exactly the same thing. So then you do want to blow it off your petal. Because it is chalk based and it has a little bit of dust, chalk dust. So we're just going to continue that process for the rest of these. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, I am ready for the weekend. How about you? You get me 2 nights in a row. What are we going to make tomorrow, friends? Oh, that's all right, Bally. I love peonies. Ooh, the large Sharon. Awesome. Happy cutting, friend. That's awesome. So happy for you. Are you doing it at the restaurant? I think it'd be super pretty on a backdrop to do all the patriotic. Okay, we're brushing on the pan pastel. I like to put it over my ink in this case. We did this technique before on some peonies in the past. So we're using the Krinkled White Peony. I'm hoping the rain has finally stopped here in Pennsylvania. I hope everybody's safe with all the tornadoes and, oh, it's crazy. We're just brushing it on. I like to start at the base and brush out towards the tip. Oh, I had a bug just fly in. Makes my allergies flare up. Okay. And then for our green sepals, so we're done. We did inking first with Picked Raspberry, both sides, and then we went over it with the magenta. So these can be purchased separately, or this was a group. And this is the Leah Griffith Pan Pastel. So the green's great for pollen. We used that before. So for our sepals, over the mint paper, I added crushed olives. So this is, there's a little annoying bug, just like I did the Krinkled White Peony. I just brush on the color. Oh my God. If you see a little bug fly in, he just wants to hang out here during our tutorial. Some of these I inked while it was on the mat. So how much? Ooh, now he's going in my ear. Why does everybody like to join our live tutorials? If it's not a family member, it's a little annoying, pesty bugs. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, depending on what color paper you use, you might not need to ink, or you want to add a little bit extra. I just brush it all over. Dun, dun, dun. All right, then for our sepals, we'll just prepare these right away. We're going to bring in our flower shaping mat, and just like I did with the Krinkled White Peony, I do have Pan Pastel on this side. We're going to take our embossing stylus and we're going to add some veining. Draw a line down the center and then lines towards that center to create a V shape. So you're adding the veining. We don't want it completely flat. And we're going to add more ink to make it a little bit more realistic. So we do this to both sepals. You can add just vertical lines. I did the center line and then the V shape towards the center for this one. And then you'll have texture to your flower or to your leaves. Okay. Oh, that's going to be gorgeous, Sharon. That's awesome. Our local Chick-fil-A always has a display up when you walk in. And we ate there for lunch on Tuesday, and they have a lot of graduation stuff. I feel like I want to make a graduation flower for them to add to their display. Okay, so now that we did that, I like to add a little bit of walnut stain to my green. Again, a lot of this is more personal choice. I just like having the color variation. And do it both sides because I like to assemble my sepals under. Got the bug. Sorry, trying to get the bug. He likes all the light over here. Oh, now he's in my head again. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're brushing on the brown over the crushed olive. And then we're going to add a little bit of seedless preserves. Just because I like adding a little bit of purple. That's not super realistic, I just like the purple. Just randomly add it. How are y'all doing with the heat down south? Hi, Dory! Oh my God! How are you? It's been forever. Are you all settled in here in PA? I'm doing well, my friend. And we're a little bit later tonight. We're on a Thursday. I had to move our tutorial. We'll be on again live on Facebook tomorrow, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. Haven't decided what we're going to make yet. And then we're going to stack our sepals, and we're going to take our purple 1/8 inch dowel rod. Oh, that's the old chart. Purple 1/8. Purple. Just stack them on top of one another. Place your dowel rod down the middle of the petal, pinch it up with your thumb, and roll it between your fingers. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Still unpacking. I hear you. It's a big process, for sure. So we use the purple 1/8 inch dowel rod, and that's all that we need the dowel rods for, so I'm going to put them away. And now we're going to style our petals. So for basically all of them, so for the 4 larger petal number 1, you can fold them in half and we need to get our crinkled look. So it is a process to get the crinkled look. We're going to fold our petals in half, and then you're going to fan fold back and forth. So last night when I was watching TV for my sample, I did this part in bed, and then I just squeeze it. Okay, fold it forward, backward, forward, backward, and then I lift that one up, and then I just kind of squeeze it together so you can see the fan fold or zigzag. Okay, forward, backward, forward. And if you didn't see, I did share a post from my friend Forever Petals by V about Isaac Florist Explorers that she shared and then I shared. Then I open it up and we're going to follow that process for all of our petals. So you can see it almost makes it look even darker. Well, this one I did ink a little bit heavier, but fold your petals in half. Okay, I turn them to the side. And then I just fold a piece down, backwards, forward, backwards, and then I'll lift part of it up. And you can just crinkle them then. Okay, turn it on its side, fold it forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward. I know, Erica, it breaks my heart too. He's a strong guy, and he will recoup and go through his treatment. We love you, Isaac, and I can't wait to see you soon. Okay, so we're just going to open those up, and we're just going to keep stacking them. Okay. So fold them in half. Okay, go on its side and then you fold some forward. Okay, bend it backwards. Fold it forward, backwards, and then I lift part of it up. I just squeeze it a little. Okay, put your petal on its side. Take a piece and fold it forward. Backwards, forward, backwards. Okay, on its side. I'm wearing gloves for this part just because I would really get pink hands. Yeah, definitely the situations life can throw us for sure, Erica. You just don't know. So live each day to its fullest, friends. We lift each other up. We're there for each other, and lots of prayers for sure. Okay, fold it in half. And then we take our first petal. We fold it forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward. Okay, go on its side. I always turn them to their side. It's a lot easier, and that's going to be the shape. Our lines will, the vertical lines will then be in the direction and the height of the petal. Okay, fold it forward, even though they look horizontal now. Backwards, forward, fan fold it, and give it a squeeze. So you can see there's the fan fold. Place them on their side, bend it forward, backward, forward, backwards, forward, and backwards. Okay. And we continue that process. We can fold our petal number 2 in half, place them on their side, forward, backwards, forward, and backwards, So there you can see that fan fold, as we call it. Does anybody have off, or are you going away this weekend? That's all right, I'll be home, so don't worry. I'm house sitting for 2 weeks, so. Even though she lives close, I'm back and forth all the time. Okay, fold it in half, place the petal on its side, and then we keep doing that technique. Fold forward, backwards, forward, and backwards. I want to get my new, so in April when I was away, I designed five flowers, so I'm hoping to get another one out. But I also want to take a little time for me. Fold forward, backwards, forward, and backwards. Has anybody made the clay pots with the faces on them? I do want to do that. Just for some fun. Linda, I would think you would, or Bally would have made those. Oh, Linda, I need to come to Florida, my friend. My Disney pass is up for renewal June 4th, and I saw how much it's going to cost. Oh. So if I pay that, then I'm not coming down for a little bit. I need to come down. So I need a vacation just to get away. So we are just fan folding all these petals, my friends. That's why we're chit-chatting back and forth. You open them up. So to get a crinkled look, it does take a little bit of a process. So step one process is fan folding, opening it up. Yep, the clay pots. Did you see them? They're in a lot of the dollar store groups. Like where they add the face, so the nose is a knob, and then they sometimes they add curlers for the face. Yes, definitely, Linda. I do have to house sit for almost 3 weeks, but I do want to get down there for Halloween. Hi, Renee. How are you? Yeah, I doubt I will get there before the fall. Because I do want to travel to Texas. Okay, we're going to open up. I'll have 2 weeks of timeshare, and they did give me another week. I have 2 extra weeks as well. All right, so now for the petal 6, I do them individually, fold back and forth. Now, some of these are smaller than the others, so if it gets a little crinkled, I just crinkle them up. Again, these are super small, so I try and fan fold the best that I can. And when I can't fan fold it anymore, I just crinkle it. Squeeze it between my fingers. You just want to have some. Oh my God, the clay pot things are so funny. I shared it in my stories one time. I'm like, I need to make those. you can draw on, use fake eyelashes on them. They put bandanas, the hoop earrings. Oh my god, they're so funny. Some people made Willie Nelson ones. You can put real plants in them, fake plants. Our paper flowers would be beautiful. But they all have personality. They can be as funny or, you know, serious as you want. I don't have a lot of people to craft in my area with me. I was thinking I could do a class in that. At one of my local places that want me to do a class. I think it'd be fun. Alright, so you can see what they start to look like. So I'm just going to try and get these done fast. I only do one at a time because these are much smaller. Erica, I use Picked Raspberry. And then I added PanPastels over top. So I added the PanPastel, the Magenta. And that really makes it dark. And I like that look. And that's how it got a lot darker. So again, I try and fan fold these the best I can. And when I can't fold them anymore, I just crinkle them up or just fold it up. Oh, that whole PanPastel set was from Leah Griffith on Amazon. I think I have it in my Amazon storefront. I can look in a second. They are expensive, so it is an investment. I have used them quite a lot when we were making peonies the other year, where I did use this color combination. So it's like your old chalks, pastel chalks I used in art class. I think you can buy them separately, and I did buy them in a larger pack as well. And we're just folding, and you can just crinkle them when you can't fold it anymore. The larger ones are a lot easier to fan fold, so fold it forward, backward, forward. And who knew a crinkled look takes so many steps, right? All right, 3 more to go. I should sit while I'm doing this part. Yeah, you can get it. There's all different techniques with the PanPastels, for sure. I do like it over the Distress Oxide. I haven't fully played around too much with it. You can use the oxide inks too with water. We played around with that, almost like watercolor. Okay, fold forward and backward. What would you like to see tomorrow night? Oh no, Bally, I'm glad you're back. We lost our electricity overnight for a little, apparently. Our microwave was out in the morning. And that's when the heaviest of our rainstorm came through, was overnight, but it rains heavy on and off. So for those of us here on the East Coast, it's called a nor'easter. In the winter, we don't like them. Now it's just rain. And it's cold. Hence I have long sleeves on. And it's May. She gets very confused. We were 80 degrees and now we're like, in the morning it's 40 and high of 50s. So for all of you melding down south, feel free to come north. Oh, it's been dreary. Haven't seen the sun in a long time. Trying to wait for a nice day so I can take a day off of work. Okay, we're almost there, friends. Yeah, Renee, it's been awful, hasn't it? Because you're in the north of me. Yeah, it's just dreary and gray. I wear a raincoat all the time. Had to get cupcakes today for our groom's party at work, and it was pouring rain. All right. I'll open this up, then I'll get the link to the PanPastels, and then we'll start our second step. So this one is different than the Crinkled White. Yes, we're using the template, but we're styling it differently. And you can see that's with my gloves on, so my hands will still get full of ink, but not as bad. So while I look that up, there's your sizes. All right. Hopefully that link works. That should take you, Erica, the link I replied to you, to the ink spot in my, take you right to the inks in there, and the PanPastel Magenta is in there. Hot payment, I know. You guys are sizzling down there. All right, we're going to flip our stack over, and now we're going to start the process. We're going to take our embossing stylus. Now, when you ink, it does make lines on your... Now, you don't see it as much with the darker, but on my lighter colors, you will see gray when you do the embossing stylus. So I literally just add the vertical line. So this is just like the crinkled peony. So I did print my instructions for the Krinkled Peony. So we are using that template. And you can see a lot of our styling is very similar to what we're doing here by we're using the embossing stylus, and then we're going to go over it with our metal ball stylus. So I'm just taking the embossing stylus. This is from Dollar Tree. It's my flower shaping mat. Draw vertical lines. I just color back and forth. And it is a process. And we're going to do that to all of our petals. Just one side, you only have to do that. And again, we're getting that texture we want. And then I'm just going to take a larger metal ball stylus and again, just go over it. And it helps shape your petals. Give them a crinkly but yet open look. So again, you start with your larger end of the embossing stylus, draw your vertical lines, and you can see our fan folds are vertical because we turned our petal on its side. Now sometimes it's not as vertical like that one. And here you can start to see a little bit of the gray lines. If I had a heavier hand with the PanPastels, you don't see it as much. Can't believe it's literally the end of May already. It's crazy. Then go over it with your larger metal ball stylus. I just go back and forth. I make sure I get the tops here to shape them. And they're very crinkly and crazy. Watch the texture to our flower. Another way you can do it is after you fan fold, you spray it with water and you can let it dry overnight. And then it really holds the texture. I've done that technique before. And then again, we go over it with our larger metal ball stylus. So we have 4 of petal 1. No, it's a chalk. PanPastel is a chalk. So it's very blendable with multiple colors. I apply it with a finger dabber, Erica. So it's very dusty. I mean, you can always try with one of them and see if you like using chalks to add extra coloring before you would invest in a set or anything. Go over again with your larger metal ball stylus. So we're going to keep each petal's designs in a stack. So this is petal 1. So now we're going to go on to petal number 2. We're going to take the larger end of our metal ball stylus. I probably shouldn't have used pink. There you can see it better. Go back and forth to create your vertical lines. Okay. And then I use the second to smallest Again, just to go over it. Keep them crinkly. The larger of the embossing stylus, back and forth. So think of peonies, they're very crinkly, lots of layers. Ooh, she's gonna be super pretty. I like the darker already. But I'll show you my lighter one. But play around with color. I use some or yellow in my other one, and pink, lighter pink, and this pink. So again, depending on your project, you can see I'm not careful when I'm going over them. Larger end of the embossing stylus, add your vertical lines. I just color back and forth. Okay. Oh my goodness, Renee! Girl! At one point, so Renee's been busy making 1.5 inch micro roses, have about 180 to make for an upcoming lavender fest in July. Her sister and her teach lavender wreath making, and I give them a rose to decorate it. I love that. You did that last year, right? The lavender fest? Is that in New York? Okay, now for petal 6, we're going to take 3 of them and stack them. And I'm going to take my precision scissors and I'm going to cut in between each petal towards the center. And these are going to be our very center of our peony. So if you're not inking, again, depending on what look you're going for, you may not have as much prep work to make this flower. So we're going to take, again, the larger end of the embossing stylus, and then again, just go back and forth to create some lines and additional texture. And I leave them all wonky and crazy. We take the smaller metal ball stylus and I go back and forth to lift up the center. So just roll it back and forth. And then you can roll the very center. So these are the 3 we cut into the center. Look how pretty that is. Ooh, so pretty. Again, larger end of the embossing stylus. Do your vertical lines. Again, don't think about it. Just color it. You want it crinkly and crazy. Okay, once you do that, take your smallest metal ball stylus and again, really just lift them up. You want them all crazy and crunkly. And then go right in the center because we cut in towards the center. So you can see my little slices. Just roll it right in the center and it closes it up. So fan fold, embossing stylus, vertical lines, metal ball stylus over it. for all petals. Three of petal 6, you cut in between each petal, and that's going to be our very center. So we're going to keep them over here. The last 3, we just do our vertical lines. Red Creek, New York. Awesome. Does it come off? I mean, no, not really. Not for a little bit it may, but not... I've never had it like really come off. You can spray them like PanPastel, like a coating if you want. I know I used to spray my artwork. For the larger ones, you can just roll your regular Metaball stylus. Linda, do you treat yours? I never have. Not my flowers, I haven't. Okay, vertical lines. If you have a local craft store, like we have a couple of them, I'm sure they would let you try the PanPastels. Because I know they usually hold classes. Okay, and then lastly, just roll. Most of the time it lifts up with Embossing Stylus. And then roll the center. Woo! Ooh, they look so pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't add any, like, a finish. I've never had problems. I mean, we'll see. I mean, this was before, when I was putting my hand directly on the chalk, but... Alright, so petal 1, we have 4 of them. We're going to lay out 1 petal for layer 1, layer 2. Layer 1 and 2, the petals are rolled or facing upwards, so we're not going to do anything differently. Layer 1, we're not going to roll the center. Layer 2, you can roll the center a little bit. Add some glue on the back. We're going to look at our top 2 petals, look at a petal, and bring it straight down in between the previous layer's petals. Okay, layer 3, you can see most of they're all facing up. We're going to flip it over so our petals are facing underwhere. I almost said under. Roll right where the petals meet the base, and that's going to just have them lift up a little bit. Add your glue. And we're going to bring these in between layer 2 petals. So bring it straight down in between and press. And I keep rotating it around. Layer 4, the petals are up, so we don't have to do anything else. Just roll right where the petals meet the base. I didn't go real heavy on my outer layers. Add your glue and place your petals in between the previous layers. So bring it straight down in between and press. I stand up when I assemble. Actually, the whole time I make flowers, most of the time. She's super duper pretty. All right, now we go to petal 2. We have 4 of these. So layer 5, the petals are going to be rolled up. You just have to roll the center. We're going to look at our top 2 petals. I'm going to choose 1 petal, bring it straight down in between and get it right in the center and press. So we changed the size significantly. Layer 6, I'm going to flip my petals over so they're now curved under. Roll it with your Metal Ball Stylus, so now you can see it lifted them up and they're curved under. Add some glue in the center. And we're going to go to where our last, look at the top 2 petals in between our previous layers. So bring that right down in between and press. Ooh, she's pretty. I like to keep rotating it. Just be careful because we keep reheating the same area. Under. So now we're going to go up for our last 2. So again, not a lot of like structure, like it's very haphazardly looking. Look at your top 2 petals. Look at a petal and bring it straight down in between and press. They're not, peonies are all over the place, oddly shaped. So wherever my petals fall, I'm going with it. Add some glue, and we're gonna look at our top 2 petals, look at a petal and bring it straight down and press. That's so pretty. All right, now we assemble our center. All of petal 6 is created out here. Then we add glue and pop it in the center, okay? So we start with the 3 we cut in between each petal. Right there, you can see the cuts. So I'm going to, again, roll this one in the center to really close her up. And now you can see what it looks like on the bottom because we cut in towards the center. I add glue and I go around the sides. Okay, now we're going to place it in the middle. So I'm going to look at one of my petals on the side here and bring it straight down. And if I pull that petal back, it's going to go in between those 2. Fold them up and around and squeeze it at the bottom. Add your glue all along there. So I kept my eye on this petal and in between those 2. And then fold them up and around. Okay, now we add our glue. And this is where I look at it. I look at the top here, look between those 2 and place a petal right there in the center. So that petal went in between those 2. Fold it up and around. Kind of like when you're making the more of the traditional peony, the ball peony. Add some glue. And I'm looking at these 2 petals and I'm just going to place a petal in between. Fold them up and around. Add your glue. I'm going to go in between those 2 and press. Fold them up and around. Now we can just add glue. Assembly super fast, right? Place it right in the center. Oh, she's so pretty. All right. let's take our 2 sepals with the petals rolled up. You're going to flip them over, keep them stacked. Take your piercing scoring tool and poke a hole right in the center. Voila. With the petals rolled up, I just roll on the top here where the petals meet the base to lift them. We're going to take our piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. Again, I cut mine down just so I don't poke you in the eye here with the camera. Take your needle nose pliers, place the 18 gauge floral stem wire in between, squeeze it and bend it around like a hook. Okay, place it back into your needle nose pliers, squeeze her shut, straighten it out. And now we're going to place them back in between the needle nose pliers with it vertical. You're going to bend it 90 degrees like a corner. Just like that. We're going to flip our sepal petal over. You thread from the top. On the underside of the wire, you add a dab of glue. Thread the sepal all the way up so it attaches. We're going to give it a moment to dry. Oh, thank you, everyone. She is gorgeous. Thank you, Kim. Your peonies are getting ready to pop. Oh my God, my nieces are ready to die from all the rain. She cut a whole bunch of them off. All right, we're going to add some glue. And we're going to go over that wire. And then I do come out each petal a little bit. Does anybody have any ideas what you want to see Friday night? Tomorrow? Place it right down in the middle. Give it a moment, and then you're going to press each petal, sepal petal, to attach to the flower. And I'm going to make sure the base attaches. I got some glue strings. Oh, she's so pretty. Okay, flip your second sepal over, thread it. Add some glue right on your sepal base, and now we're going to thread this and place them in between. And then I like to pull these down to shape her. Ooh, she's so gorgeous. Ooh, pretty. I like to admire her from all different angles. Now, here's my other one. I did a much softer shading where I did some lighter pink. I used spun sugar on these outer petals. Okay, so much more subtle than this one. I prefer the darker inking, so I did use spun sugar. And you can see a little bit of yellow. I was inspired by one of the real peonies I saw. I used a little bit of wild honey, and then I used the pink raspberry in the center. So again, depending on your look, if you like a much softer shading or if you like the darker. It's so gorgeous, either or. And then with our traditional crinkled peony. So you can mix them all together. And these again are the same template, we just styled it differently. And that's my favorite part of paper flowers, mixing them all together. Oh, I did, I'm sorry, I forgot one last thing I did do. Just like on our regular crinkled, I did add some tape. I didn't add any leaves. this one. Pull to activate your floral tape. I start down low. You can spin it around at an angle because you're pulling to make sure it sticks. Now, once I have a nice part rolled, I just push it up to the top so it meets where your sepal is. Continue rolling. And I always cut more tape than I need. And then if it's too bright, I calm it down with walnut stain. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. It is so pretty. And again, I love taking my existing templates, again, showing you the versatility that we continue to use them to make other flowers. And I am a peony girl, as you all know, and it is peony season here in PA. Not for very long. But, ooh, so pretty. Again, you can use these in bouquets, in your arrangements, maybe in your clay pots. I'm just looking for something I have sitting here. Or, okay, I'm going to zoom out, so hold on. So we have all of our tulips here yet. I have all of mine in a pot. And then you can add these in depending on the color. I need longer stems, but you can add them in as well for a little bit of brighter colors. I know it's hard to see from this angle, but I was waiting for my camera to catch up. Yes, you can do the flower stand. May is halfway to Halloween, hint. Yeah, so I mean, you definitely can add these in all of your flower pots. I know, I want to make a large crinkled peony for the flower stand. I have so many flowers around here, it's so pretty. Time to use them up in a project, right? But thanks so much for joining. Again, we made a new flower with the Krinkled White Peony, and I hope I can inspire you to make a paper flower this weekend. But don't worry, we're going to be back here live tomorrow for another tutorial here on Facebook. And again, they are here for 30 days, and then I do upload them to YouTube so you can watch them. And also look for the sizes typed up. It goes into the 2025 tutorials photo album. And be sure to click the comment for that photo because the link to the YouTube video and all the tools and everything are in there. So thank you all again. I am Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and have a wonderful night. And we'll see you tomorrow night to kick off the long holiday weekend. And join me to see what I'm going to make because I'm not sure yet. So have a great evening, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.